What's up, Sooner Nation? We're live. It's the podcast that tells it like it is. Texas beats OU for the first time in the College World Series, I think, under Mike White. They get it done. OU had their opportunities late to have another miracle run, and Kavon shut him down, the last two hitters striking out. Now OU's got to do it the difficult way, which, by the way, guys, they're all difficult. So now OU, though, is going to have to rely on other pitchers because you've got to play tomorrow and then 2 games Monday. So they're going to have to see what their staff can bring them and hope they get hot with the bats, Jackson, because it's going to be difficult. Kudos to Kavon. She made the pitches when it mattered. OU made some errors early. So did Texas. Texas got it done.
Yeah, Kavon. I mean, Kavon in the previous 2 games against Oklahoma had allowed she pitched. Her ERA was like 22. Hadn't pitched good against Oklahoma. She did today. So she pitched great. She got the win. But there's nothing easy in this year's College World Series. I mean, because you got some really good teams still hit. The clutch hitting hasn't been good, as Colin said.
Time out.
What couple scenarios today? Wait. Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking. Today it was not good. That's all I'm saying. Not in general.
That's not what he said. He said it has been horrible. That's ridiculous considering they hit a bomb yesterday to win it. Jeez.
Well, hey, real quick. Jane Johnson says the crossover is good. Here's the thing. It's good if maybe you can stay away from Tech, but if you get Tech and have to beat them twice with Kennedy, that's going to be very difficult. Hey, welcome back, Bevo. It's been a while.
Welcome back. You don't show up when your team wins, but kudos to being here.
Hey, and there's something that I want to say. I think why Oklahoma's offense has gone so cold is, I don't even think it's fair to use the word cold. I just think they're not being aggressive at the plate. For some reason, they're sitting back, watching too many.
You guys don't know softball, man.
Trying to hunt the perfect pitch. I don't know softball, Jeremy. So you're telling me that Oklahoma's being aggressive at the plate right now? Absolutely.
Too aggressive. Actually, NellyMac swung at everything. And by the way, Jackson, people forget Pickens is an elite pitcher. They're not sitting here facing nobodies.
Well, what do you mean? Carlin Pickens? Of course she's an elite pitcher. She's a lot better, in my opinion, than Tegan Kavon.
What you said, OU's been struggling at the plate. Well, they're playing Pickens.
That is not what I said, Jeremy. I said they're not being aggressive at the plate. They're sitting back and watching too many pitches.
Maya Bland sat back and watched one.
They all like. If there's anything that's up in the zone, Oklahoma wants nothing to do with it.
NellyMac struck out on 2 above her eyes, Jackson.
Jeez. Hey, the bigger question I have is, how did OU lose this game when they have 9,000 fans there? I mean, that's impossible, right?
I wonder if Mike White will say something about that.
It's impossible to beat OU in Oklahoma City. Great. It was a great win by Texas, guys. Great win by Texas. OU's got it.
First one in a long time.
What?
First one ever against OU when it mattered.
First one in 14 years in the state of Oklahoma, and they got it done. OU catcher, Emerling, I see the comments on there. They had some bad swings against Kavon today. The last 3 pitches against Core, she kind of looked lost out there. You had NellyMac in a few at bats, kind of looked kind of confused. Guys, call it what it is. Tegan Kavon pitched great today. She has that in her. She can do that. That's the thing. When you face really good pitchers, they can do that. They can have really good outings, and she did that. I give her credit. I tell you that the last inning, 6th inning, bottom of 6th, the run Texas got was massive. The insurance run was huge. That was a killer.
Rockets fan, obviously you're never on this program until today, but we've all given Texas a lot of credit throughout the year. But hey, I will say this: Texas isn't guaranteed to make it to the finals because Pickens is going to be there. Pickens is who they're going to have to face twice.
Hey, and I'm pretty sure I even said that Texas, in my opinion, is the only team that I think Oklahoma that could potentially be Oklahoma for a championship.
Yeah. Hey, thoughts and prayers to Kavon with her grandma dying. That's awful news. Thoughts and prayers to her. And I have never said that OU owns them. I said
they have owned her, Jay.
I said OU owned her in the 2 starts this year so far. Yes,
they scored 8 on the last one.
But that's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. And she owned OU today. She owned OU today.
Landon, you're right. They had chances to get timely hits and they didn't get it. But To me, by the way, I did not pick Texas to lose the regional. Did not.
That was me. That was me. I'll admit it. Yeah.
Hey, Bevo, you only picked the Thunder. Every pick you've made in the last 2 weeks has been bad. So I'll just stop acknowledging you on here. Thanks, though. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Hey, Jay Jackson, OU now goes to play Oregon. And here's the biggest thing now. You got to play Oregon and then the winner of tonight's game between Tech and UCLA, which Tech doesn't have many bats, but they have Kennedy. But she would be pitching a lot in a row. I'm going to pick OU until they lose, until they're eliminated. So I'm going to pick them to win the whole thing still.
Same. No, I'm too. And I don't think it really matters. Like, if you face Kennedy, you face Carlin Pickens, it's a similar pitcher.
You got to hit the ball.
So it's like you kind of know what to expect there. It's not going to be easy. They're going to get a lot of strikeouts on you, but you just need to get hits whenever you need to get the most. In Oklahoma today, it's not that they weren't even getting clutch hits. They were failing to get runners in scoring position the majority of the game. They weren't even getting they didn't have much success getting hits at all, it seemed like. I mean, they had 2 bloop hits, 2 or 3 hits that it shouldn't have even really maybe
no home runs for OU today.
No. Cassidy Pickering played maybe her worst game in a long time.
Yeah, and Sanders was great at first base. She got a hit and a walk. So anyone who's ripping Sanders, she got a hit and a walk today. So,
and CJ said it's not that big of a deal. To me, it is a big deal because
not to me.
Now,
I mean, it is.
You can't lose another game, and you got a tough road ahead. That's all it is. I mean, Texas now they're in the driver's seat here. They just can't get swept by probably Tennessee. It looks like to me now. There's a scenario where if Texas Tech loses today, that you would have Texas Tech versus Tennessee, correct? To go play Texas.
To go play Texas, yes.
Yes,
I mean, if you're an OU fan, you got to hope UCLA wins tonight.
I think so too, Jeremy. That's what I would probably root for. So just to get Texas Tech up in that top side of the bracket, that's probably what I'm rooting for there. But OU just got to play better if they want. You got to win 3 games in a row. You have to.
I agree. And there are a couple of things. I didn't like Emmerling's bunt with Ogbayani on first, a pop-up bunt. The other one she laid down to sacrifice, but I didn't like that. I also want to say, anyone who said, I see Brandon says Sooners are done. Anyone who says OU's done in softball, obviously you haven't watched much OU softball the last, 6-8 years. So until they're done, they're not done.
Yeah, and this team, Jeremy, I agree. They're never done. I mean, it was going to be a matter of time before Texas beats Oklahoma in the World Series. It couldn't last forever. It was going to happen eventually. It's impossible for it to last forever, basically. And I think you would honestly probably rather have it now than have it maybe be in another game that's farther in, because now it almost gives you a chance to regroup. You face that adversity. We've seen how Oklahoma teams responded from adversity all year long. They've responded awesome. And I expect the same thing from them. And I wouldn't be shocked if they're the national champions at all.
I'm not changing the lineup any. I wish they would have left Barker in at least one more at bat.
Yeah, stop subbing out Sydney Barker. To me, that's so annoying.
Yeah, and I thought overall Landry pitched pretty well. You take the errors away, this is the game you got to score more points, but it doesn't matter now because you're not throwing Landry tomorrow. I think Kirsten Deal goes tomorrow, and then Monday, I don't know who they'll pitch game 1 on Monday. It probably just depends on who they're playing, but
yeah, I think you have to go with Deal versus whoever you play. I think if you're wanting more of a less powerful, maybe offensive unit, you want to use probably Texas Tech is who you would rather play. But do you want to face Najee Kennedy because she has the ability to shut your offense down completely in a game?
I agree, and I agree with what Haley said that they need to stop. On the third strikes, there were 2. It was Nelly Mac that watched one down the middle, and Maya Bland. Those 2 really hurt. Hey, Brandon, look, you can call me a homer. Fine, I am an OU fan. I don't give a rip what you call me. Thanks for watching the show, though. But hey, guess what? You'd have to be ridiculous to not pick OU to win it all until they've lost. No one has even sniffed the trophy in 4 years, bud. No one.
No. Yeah, and I saw there's a comment up here I want to get to. This one says, watch Texas have a letdown and lose next game. Could happen, man.
There's good teams in this.
Yeah.
Hey, I agree with Miles. Lowry and Deal are going to be big the next 2 games. If Deal can throw a great game, you maybe could go Lowry. Maybe could go Lowry on Monday 1 game and then Landry in the one to get him there. I'm not counting the team out.
No.
What did you guys think about the subbing for Barker?
Didn't like it, Jay.
Yeah, I understand that. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, I know I see a lot of
And also, I don't like bunting Emmerling 2 times in 1 game.
Well, to me, if you're going to bunt in that position, pinch hit and bunt. Like, you know what I mean? I think that you're better off. Hey, I mean, I don't know if some of these Texas fans are in here haven't maybe watched, but I actually picked Texas to win the whole thing earlier this year, did I not? Until what? Until they started struggling down the stretch. And they did. The pitching staff started struggling, but I tell you what, Tegan Kavan seems like she's got it together right now, and they're going to be a tough out. They already proved they are. It's going to be a tough out.
Yeah, and I mean, there are a couple decisions that didn't pan out for OU, but anyone that's questioning Patty Gasso overall, it's just ridiculous.
And
it's kind of hilarious.
None of us in here are questioning Patty Gasso. We just, as fans, I don't think we're fans of the move, if that makes sense. But overall, like, you're going to trust what she does and be convinced that it's going to work.
Yeah. Tracy says, I agree we weren't being aggressive enough at the plate. Kavan was throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, and we were just sitting there.
That's what I was saying. Not aggressive enough at the plate at all.
I agree with Tracy on that. I also think with the changeup specifically, I think some of those they could have had, but they just were not very aggressive with it. And you can't get behind the count when you're facing a pitcher like Kavan. She's too good. You can't get 0-2, 1-2. You're in trouble. And that kind of proved true today. So
I mean, they used, and what I was going to say to Johnson, they used Malloy to pinch run earlier, but I would have liked to see a home run hitter there at the end instead of Core, someone who could put it over the fence. But
hey, let me ask you guys this: who do you think starts against Oregon?
It's got to be Deal or Lowry. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's Deal or Lowry.
I think it's more than likely Deal.
And then you got what? You got Landry first game of the next one, or you save her for the second one? I mean, there's a lot of questions now of what to do with the pitching staff because what the road is ahead. I think personally, it's going to be Oregon and then Texas Tech, and I think you're going to have to deal with Kennedy twice. I think that's what's looking ahead.
I think you're better off pitching Landry in game 1 on Monday if you get there, because then the pressure is really mounting on the other team. I don't know, Jay. I don't know. There's a lot of decisions.
This comment talking about Emmerling, I think she is what she is. She has her weaknesses. She's
not good. Not been great at all.
It's a player, not great arm strength. I think it's really all you have. Like, you have Corey Hicks. She's not going to play, or else she would have played by now this year. And so I think it's just, you kind of got to hope that in potentially championship series, Emmerling, maybe an error that she has or something, or a failure to throw out a base stealer, doesn't come back to haunt you in the end.
Hey, one thing about Landry is she's getting into too many 3-ball counts. I think I heard the stat today during the game, guys. In the first 2 games of the World Series, she's at like now 17 or 18 batters that she's in the 3-ball count. That's way too many for her. Her control, I think, has got to be better when she pitches next. That's a thing. Nobody thought this was going to be easy for Oklahoma, and there's a very good chance, guys, a real chance that they're not going to win the championship this year. I mean, everybody knew this was going to be a tough with all the young players. So, but now you're really behind that. You're against it. You're against the backs against the wall here with Oregon, and then whatever comes after that.
But Jay,
I want to really take it to the next level, man.
I can say Landry wasn't elite, but to say Landry wasn't good, Like,
Well,
I
I think
thought she was pretty good today. She
Elmer's-
wasn't great. She was good enough to win today, guys.
Yeah, the one issue that I have with her is she consistently gets into full counts. And over the game, and as you can continue to go through the World Series, it's going to continue to mount because you're going to get tired. It's June. It's more hot than it was all college softball season. That heat, it wears down on that turf on the field. So it's tough. Like, you need to try and get ahead in counts and be able to get outs quick and at bats because it'll come to help you later in the World Series.
Yeah, and what you can't do is, I know, everybody knows, any OU fan knows, anybody who's not an OU fan knows that this team, they're tough to finish off down the stretch, and they've won some games in the last at-bats. We saw it just against Tennessee, but you can't continue to put yourself in that situation, down 1 or 2 runs in the last inning, and have to come up with a miraculous hit to win it. You kind of gotta get it.
Had a chance with Garcia.
Had a chance, but you can't. You're not going to keep doing it.
Her first swing and a miss against Cavan, that was the one. I mean, she was right on it, swung right over it, but man, great looking swing. Yeah, it was the bats today, Bill. I agree. It was the bats. Absolutely was the bats. Brandon Cavan hasn't been elite either. I mean, she was great today. She still allowed 2 runs though. Anyone who's counting OU out's ridiculous. I'm just saying. They're going to be here tomorrow. The game, by the way, is 6:00 tomorrow. 6:00 on ESPN. Hey,
Yeah, 6 p.m. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, the last run did kill, and the 2 home runs after it was 2-2. That's the game. That's. I mean, 2-2 going into the 5th, and you allow the 2 home runs. That's the game. So,
and
you just can't do that. So
this comment here, I agree with, because I believe that if you earn the higher seed during the regular season, you should have the ability to be the home team. That the highest seed.
But here's the thing: it doesn't matter. They've done this for years. They're not changing it anytime soon. So that's the way it is. So I don't like it. I've never liked it, but it didn't have an effect on this game at all.
I know who's grinning ear to ear right now. Tennessee.
I don't know.
They didn't want to play OU twice.
I don't know. They beat OU 2 out of 3 earlier this year, and Pickens.
Hey, come on.
Pickens. I think she wanted OU again. I really do. I think she's that type of pitcher. I think she wanted it.
Well, she might have wanted them, but did the rest of the team want OU again? Probably not.
They're not eliminated, Austin. They've got it. Now, this is a fact. OU has to win 3 straight games. They've got to beat Oregon tomorrow at 6:00, and then they've got to beat whoever wins tonight between Tech and UCLA. They've got to beat them twice. Can they do it? Absolutely. If OU's bats are hot, they're going to be a tough out as long as they get pitching from the others, like Kirsten Deal, Audrey Lowry, maybe Bella Smith, Monticello. They've just got to pitch well enough to get it to Monday.
Right.
Because Monday, you never know.
And what I think you hope happens tomorrow is you kind of hope that you come out offensively on fire, get maybe like a 4-0 lead early, a 5-0 early, and you're able to really ride like Dio and Landry. Or sorry, but like Dio and Lowry or Isabella Smith.
You have to ride him. Landry's not pitching tomorrow. I don't see a world where Landry's pitching unless it's like a 1-run game in the 7th inning and she's coming to try to shut him down. It's just not happening. And Reginald, I agree. I agree. People need to be careful what they're saying about this OU team. Just be careful about it. They are still the defending champs 4 years in a row, and until 4, that's the number this year, until they lose, you got to pick them. So,
I mean, they've been in this scenario before. If you go back to 2021, that was the James Madison year and Odyssey Alexander, if you remember right. And OU was able to get back there and beat Florida State in the championship. But this is a lot tougher road than that, guys. These are better teams in this World Series than there was in 2021. Not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm just saying it can happen, but it is a difficult road, guys. And I see people saying they like the flip. They like that OU got beaten. It's going to have to go that other route.
Won this game, guys.
What? Hey,
You would have rather have won this game because you don't think it's so hard to lose 2 in a row.
Obviously, yeah. Hey, and I think something I was going to say is this is the first time too in a couple years where Oklahoma doesn't clearly have a top 2 arm or the best arm in the World Series, because Carlin Pickens, Nyjah Kennedy are clearly the best 2 arms, and I think below that is probably, out of all who's left, Sam Landry, Tegan Cavan. But, I think if you're Oklahoma, a little bit more just rides on the offense, not because Sam isn't a good enough arm to get it done, but because she's not been a pitcher who's come in every single game and just giving up 0 to 1 runs, throwing 74, 75 miles an hour, right? She's going to get a lot of strikeouts, but also she's going to get some balls hit hard off of her. And you just have to be able to score enough runs to win each game, which she gives them the opportunity to do that all the time.
Well, the other thing people got to talk about is tonight, Kennedy likely pitches, and UCLA is probably going to throw their ace. Now, they would still get a day off, so the ace could go again. But
hey, the other thing is Kennedy's also been dealing. Rothrock was dealing with the blister issue. Kennedy has been too.
Every year, Kennedy has something.
Yeah, but it's going to be an interesting road. I think OU beats Oregon, and I think you see who they play, UCLA or Tech. And then here's the thing: people have said it. Texas Tech, you're dealing with Kennedy. It's tough to score on her, but it's also a game where you could win with maybe 2 runs. Their offense is not great, so it's not like facing Texas or Florida, Tennessee offensively. So there is that. But and OU's beaten Kennedy before. It's not like they haven't. So it would be nothing new, but it is a very tough road to get there.
I think UCLA is the better hitting team. So
yeah,
Haley's right. It's tough to beat a team 4 times. OU swept Texas earlier, and it is tough. And Tegan Cavan, after having 2 just horrible outings against Oklahoma, you got to give her props, man. She came out there and dealt today. She dealt against Florida in the opening game, guys. She's out there. She's only a sophomore. She's having a great World Series so far.
Yeah,
I see this comment here from Robert. The Big 12, though, it's pretty weak conference compared to the SEC. And I know that Texas Tech, they beat Ole Miss in their first game. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so it's really like, are you going to face them or are you going to face UCLA in the next game? You don't know yet. But Ole Miss, they're a good team, but they're not even on the tier of what Oklahoma is and Texas and Tennessee.
I see Bevo's. I'm not even going to respond to that. To me, guys, this is a game. OU had chances. They left runners on base early. First and second innings, they had 2 on both innings and left them on base. So they didn't come up with the clutch hits today. Tegan Cavan was great, going through a lot emotionally with the passing of her grandmother. Kudos to them, Jay. Kudos to them, Jackson. But this thing is far from over, everyone. Texas is not the national champion yet. Tennessee's not. OU's not. Tech isn't. None of these teams have won it, guys. This is called adversity. Everyone faces it. What's going to happen next? We'll find out, guys.
Yeah, I think that's true. We're going to find out next. I think this team, I think they're going to respond tomorrow night, and I'm going to call this right now. I wouldn't be shocked if Oklahoma wins in a run tomorrow night. I think they're going to come out on fire. They're going to come out motivated. And just like I said, you've seen how this team responds from adversity. I think they're going to continue to do that. I think they're going to continue to show why they're Oklahoma. Sometimes, you have to get beat once to truly know what it takes to win a championship. And this is really a brand new team. The majority of these new faces have never been in this spot before. So yeah.
Brandon says, why are y'all assuming? No one's assuming. I actually talked about the starting pitcher for UCLA. Man, are you hearing me? I did mention Tech as winning it all because people have mentioned it because of Kennedy. No one's mentioning UCLA winning it all. They just haven't really been in the talk. Neither's Oregon.
UCLA is probably going to win because I'm picking Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech wins, so that means UCLA probably will. So,
Yeah. Hey, Poncho Jack says we'll see him in the championship. I was at the game and said, okay, see you soon. Look, it very well could be OU Texas again. There's a lot of possibilities, but today OU just didn't get it done when they needed to in the clutch, and Kavon shut him down at the end, Jay, when it mattered.
And you shut him down, and also Texas bats were very clutch today. 2 home runs down the stretch, massive. I mean, you got to give them their props that they stepped up when they needed it, and they were able to do it, man. So I had a close game. I had 4-3 OU, if you remember right. So I knew it was going to be a pretty tight game, but OU couldn't get the bats going.
And Jay, I know you talked about the second home run, but it kind of felt like whenever Texas went up 4-2, it kind of felt like with the way that Kavon was dominating on the mound, it was kind of like this one might be a little bit more tough, even if you get
even though they got 2 on, Jackson 1 out.
Yeah, I know. It just kind of felt because yesterday, whenever Ella Parker, she came up to the plate with how she already had hit a home run, I believe, off of Carlin Pickens. You kind of just knew. But Gabby Garcia, I think that strikeout, she swung at 3 balls. Horrible. I think it's been an issue.
Gabby Garcia, no. She swung at 2 right down the middle.
Are you sure? I thought they were outside.
Yeah,
the third
was
one
outside. The other ones are right down the middle, dude.
She chased a screwball, the last one.
Yeah, the last pitch.
Okay.
But that was still a really good pitch, I thought.
Yeah, I think. But, just like I said, I think Oklahoma, I think they dominate tomorrow night. And
I'm not going to say dominate. I'm going to say I think they're going to win.
I think tomorrow night that they're going to dominate.
Well, hey, we'll find out. Thanks for being on here, everyone. Even the Texas fans who joined the chat today, appreciate it. We'll embrace you on here. I don't know why Texas doesn't have a softball podcast you can go to. Maybe because they haven't won a natty in a while. But, hey, thanks for joining ours. Appreciate it. Hit the like before you leave. Appreciate that. And we'll see you guys tomorrow after OU Oregon, 6 o'clock, ESPN.